The West Nile virus is transmitted by mosquitoes and is a zoonotic arbovirus. WNV was first found in tropical areas of the world, but has since spread beyond. It was first identified in the West Nile of Uganda in 1937. WNV contains a single-stranded RNA genome encased in an icosahedral shell surrounded by a membrane. This is the structure of the West Nile virus, going from the most outer layer to the most inner layer. The West Nile virus and the dengue fever virus are very similar in that they are both enveloped RNA viruses and have very similar structure. They both also belong to the genus Flavivirus and the family Flaviridae. The West Nile virus primarily infects humans, although it is able to infect other mammals such as horses and crows. The West Nile virus enters the cell through a process called endocytosis. This is where it binds to the outer layer of the cell, then enters it, and then opens up to release the capsid which holds the RNA. Because the World Health Organization classified West Nile virus as a low-risk disease, people weren't careful enough until the first outbreak occurred in 1994 in Algeria, followed by another outbreak in Romania in 1996. Then over the next 3 years, the disease spread to the USA, Canada, the Caribbean, and South America, and has recently spread throughout Europe, Australia, Asia, and Africa. The virus has been able to survive for such a very long time as it is transmitted from person to person by the mosquito. Because of this, it is difficult to eradicate, as the only way to completely kill off the virus would be to kill all mosquitoes that are infected. The incubation period for West Nile disease is typically 2 to 15 days. After this period, a range of symptoms can occur. West Nile fever is the most common of these symptoms, which occurs in 20% of cases. There are many more symptoms, including neuroinvasive disease, which is the rarest and only happens in 1% of cases, and others such as meningitis, poliomyelitis, and reversible paralysis. The range of different symptoms is due to the fact that the virus can travel to many parts of the body and its path is usually very random. Although this is true, the virus tends to travel to either the brain or the nervous system. Currently, there is no treatment for the West Nile virus, and there is also no immunization. Except in severe cases, treatment consists of supportive care like intravenous fluids or respiratory support. The West Nile virus has a surprisingly low fatality rate, as only 1% of people who are infected with the West Nile virus develop a severe illness, and of those people with a severe illness, only 3 to 15% die. Often death to the illness is associated with old age, as shown by this graph. Because there is no immunization available for the West Nile virus, prevention methods such as mosquito netting must be taken to prevent it in countries such as Uganda. When traveling to countries with the West Nile virus, wearing insect repellent is recommended. Due to a low fatality rate, the West Nile virus does not pose a huge risk to our safety. It will continue to spread, however, as it has in the past 20 years.